we have new guys coming in, all guys that have coached at high caliber teams, and I've kind of enjoyed being a student, watching some old games from the new coach and an FC Basel, and having an opportunity to continue to craft my game. Like I said earlier, it's an opportunity for us players to build something in Chicago, and starting from scratch, it feels like you're part of the beginning of something that can be great.
Yeah, and in terms of that culture, moving back to Soldier Field, what does that do for the culture?
Obviously historically the Chicago Fire fans are going to be connected with Soldier Field, but I still think it's relatively new to people in the city to see a soccer team in that stadium. So I think at this time, with the rebrand again and new colors, we can ride a wave of excitement and really get those fans in the city that aren't as familiar with soccer to kind of jump in, and they'll recognize the history that the club has, but then I think they'll enjoy the possibility of being part of something greater moving forward.
Have you started having conversations about tactical style and your particular role, or is that all left in the preseason?
That's all left to the preseason. Like I said, I've been doing some of my own homework just so I can be a little bit ahead of the game when I get in. But from what I've seen in highlights and how FC Basel has played, I see that I'll be able to have an opportunity to have impact. And for me, that's all I'm looking for.
Since you are in Carlos Vela's house, what's your opinion about Carlos and now Chicharito arriving? What can you talk about, tell us about them?
Well, he has a very nice house. It's pretty cool. It's a top level club, top level player, and me, I'm a guy that grew up in Northern Virginia, and I'm able to play in the same league as these guys and play in stadiums like this, and I just continue to recognize, that there's never, an end to the, bettering of my game. So when those guys get close, I'm watching. Obviously when I play against them, I'm hoping that they have the worst game of their lives. But ultimately, I'm still studying and still a student of the game, and appreciate being able to play in the same league as these players.
CJ, speaking about stadiums, besides the ones that you've played in that are considered home stadiums, what has been your favorite to play in the league?
Okay, Atlanta. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is just another level. They pack it up, obviously, and the fans are actually kind of nice too. They obviously want their team to win, but there's not a lot of obscenities or anything like that. It's just a great atmosphere.
Are you familiar with Chicago Fire, the TV show?
I've heard of it. I don't follow it. Nah.
CJ, your Sacred Seeds Foundation and all the great work that you've been doing with that, a lot of the times I always try and fight this good fight for soccer players because they get a bad rap for a lot of things, but the things you do in the communities, and what I think I love about MLS coming from England, is the grassroots community driven efforts that players put into kids, nutrition, all of that stuff. You did a great job in Philly. Are you planning on carrying that over, and can you give us a bit of a debrief on that and what you're planning on doing?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for that little bit. That is always fulfilling to hear, as a player and an advocate of change, if you will. And what I've seen in Philly is something that is going to be hard for me to ignore. And while you see something like that and you want to change the whole world, I do recognize it's about in a moment, in an environment, putting forth the resources there to not just bring food, right? Not just bring nutritious food, but to bring a conscious and healthy lifestyle, right? I believe from there it can permeate through many other aspects of people's lives, and eventually you'll be able to see, even in MLS, that next homegrown player that came up through a system where he was conscious about what he was putting in his body from an early age and able to maximize his potential. That's my long-term dream, to see it actually manifest in these aspects of society.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool. Good luck with that.
thank you.
CJ, Dax and Basket are gone this year. Does that change your role in the locker room?
A little bit, you know. Sad to see those two go. Very great guys. Gonna miss the shower dances with Basti and all the jokes. But, you know, they both are such high-class people that they rub off on everybody around them. So it's gonna be cool for me to kind of step into that leadership role, but also see the younger guys and see them start to implement all these things that I know they've learned from them. So it's all, the story of it all is great, because as we're starting, you know, this new direction, it's giving our young guys an opportunity to kind of step into their own character, and then the vets, you know, the leaders on the team have an opportunity as well to, like, you know, start something really great, you know. So it's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited.
Who is Dax to you, and what is Nashville getting with Dax McCarty going to Nashville?
Oh man, Dax he's what I would say in the hood, the homie, you know? Just the homie. Whenever you have an issue on the field, off the field, you know that you can talk to him, and Nashville is gonna get a guy that, one, is seasoned, he's been in this league, he knows what it takes, but he's also, you know, now he's got a kid, he's mellowed out a little bit, he's able to give those, you know, bits of insight off the field that I think the younger guys in Nashville are gonna enjoy, and the older guys as well. So, you know, good luck to him out there, and, you know, Basti is out doing who knows what right now, but he is also a guy that's gonna have a lasting effect on our team in this league.
CJ, it's such an important year for the league, obviously the 25th season. What have you seen kind of just in the growth of the league? And you see, you know, famous players like you're talking about, Bastion and Zlatan coming over from Europe, and then you see people coming from Mexico, South America. What have you seen kind of in that growth personally, and, you know, just as a market for MLS?
Yeah, the market is growing for sure. I'm getting to play with all these players that I used to play video games. I used to play them, you know, as them in video games. So as a player, I'm able to be a fan. But the quality of the play is going up as well. You know, I feel like as I'm going into my 10th year, I still have a lot to learn, and I can feel different aspects of my game that I'm getting better. And, you know, as these high-profile players could continue to filter into the league, it keeps us domestic players and players that have been in the league, keeps us on our toes too. You know, I think the biggest area that I've seen it manifest is on the training ground. You know, guys are out there every day. They realize there's an opportunity to get better. They realize there's an opportunity to get on the field, and, you know, we're all doing that, knowing that it's for the betterment of the organization, and that in turn is for the betterment of the league.
We have time for about one more.
I have a question over here
Yep.
from the Miami Herald. How do you feel about Miami joining the league? Have you been to Miami? What do you think of Miami?
MIA, yo! All I know about Miami is Will Smith's songs. That's one of my favorites. I'm gonna enjoy playing in Miami. You know, hopefully it's not too hot. I think the stadium looks like it's gonna be gray once it's done. You know, it will probably be a time, you know, we'll look back and we'll say, like, this is around the moment that the league really made a pivotal move to, you know, one of the top leagues.
So you think Miami, what do you think having a team there brings the league-wide?
Well, you got another hot-ass place to play, for one. I mean, the humidity out there in Florida is something serious. But it brings a little bit more high-profile, you know, area, market, and demographic. So that would be cool to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see how you guys show yourself in the league this first year.
Thank you so much, CJ. Always a pleasure. Keep your eyes on his Instagram feed. Hopefully, he doesn't post anything tonight.